Good morning, everybody. I'm Ben Foster, Technical Sales Support Manager for Blue Phoenix, and we are the largest incinerator bottom ash aggregate supplier in the UK. We have been supplying it to the UK in construction industry for about 25 years now. Incinerator bottom ash, what is it and where does it come from? It is the residue from the combustion of non-recyclable domestic waste in an energy from waste facility. There are approximately 55 energy from waste facilities in the UK, and currently they are using around 15 million tonnes of domestic waste as a fuel. Like any process, incineration for the consumption of fuel isn't 100% efficient. Approximately 20% of what goes in remains at the end as a residue. So in the UK, from that 15 million tonnes going in, approximately 3 million tonnes remains. And in the past, that 3 million tonnes were destined for landfill. However, we think we've got a better use for it in the form of incinerator bottom ash aggregate. So what is it? It is the byproduct of incinerator bottom ash aggregate processing, whereby a material is graded and screened into different fractions, a coarse and a fine fraction, so that on a conveyor belt, it's easier to remove any organics, unburned material or metals from the material stream. The metals are removed using magnets and eddy current separators. And then finally, once all the metals have been removed, the material streams are blended back together to meet various aggregate standards and specifications, such as specification for highway works. So here's an infographic showing how we fit into the circular economy. So you can see the consumption of household waste and domestic waste. So your black bins are collected and sent to an energy from waste facility, where it's used for a fuel, and power generation is then sent back to the grid. The residue from that process would then be sent to one of our incinerator bottom ash processing facilities, whereby we extract the metals, which is then sent on to a refining facility and then sold on and recycled. The remaining residue from that process can then be used in the construction industry, and both of those then feed into the market economy to create infrastructure and everyone can live their lives. And as a part of that, we then generate waste and consumption, which then feeds back into the cycle, closing the circular loop. And so, to take anything away from this slide this morning and from this presentation in general, the story is that waste incineration is not the end of the story. Waste can be considered a resource and it can be considered as an asset. So here's a quick summary of what our material can be used for in this industry. It can be used as general fills, but probably more of interest to Elkrig is the road sub-based and capping application, where the material is predominantly our material that can be used as type 1, and we also conform to various 6F materials as well. And also in other applications as well, it can be used as secondary material in foam mixed asphalt or CBGMs to better gain strength and more stable pavements. Some of IBA's benefits over primary aggregate: it has a much lower density compared to a primary aggregate. It has 20% less material. We need to fill the same excavationable void, and some of the knock-on benefits of that is they need 20% less vehicle movements for delivery. Therefore, you've got 20% less vehicles on our road, which is reducing congestion, tailpipe emissions, and also it's helping to reduce the wear and tear on our roads. We all know the state of our roads at the moment, potholes. So the more trucks we can get off the road, the better. And also, in terms of its production carbon costs, it's got a lot much lower embedded in carbon, about 90% less emissions. I'll go into that one in a bit more detail later. Due to the fact that it's created using thermal treatment, it has mild cementitious osmotic benefits. In time, the material goes quite hard as it binds together by itself. So, opportunities and benefits of Blue Phoenix. So, we are the market leader in terms of incinerator bottom ash aggregate producers. We process about 3 million tonnes of incinerator bottom ash created in the UK. We process over 1.5 million tonnes of that material. sending out approximately 1.2 million tons of aggregate into the economy. And we've been doing it the longest in the country, over 25 years, and we've got good financial backing from our investors. So from that, we can then pull into research and development projects, such as at the moment, we're looking at carbon capture. We know the material absorbs carbon from the atmosphere when it's stockpiled. However, what we want to do is to explore and quantify how much that is, but also other ongoing projects we've got is a 0 to 16 mil type 1 replacement to sort of demonstrate that the finer grade material can perform just as well as a normal 803 type 1 sub. We've done some off-network trials, but we want to move it forward to a network trial. So anyone that would be interested in taking up that trial would be interested to hear from you. So we've been working in the UK for 25 years. Got good, strong links with local authorities, especially in the northeast of England. So like working with Outbreak, we're looking to develop new relationships with local authorities. And as I met many of the local authorities in this room, we're all signed up to climate CO2 savings. So we've got your KPIs and the targets we want to meet. So Incinerator Bottom Ash Aggregate is a good way to meet those targets. We've got good CO2 savings to be gained. So we're a national company. We've got plants all over the country. And we've got good full technical support in our company. So we will help you with make sure that we are fully compliant with any UK rules and regulations as we are dealing with the waste, which is regulated. So look in more detail in the greenhouse gas emissions. So according to the DEFRA numbers, the primary aggregate is 7.75 kilograms of CO2 per tonne when it's produced, and demolition waste is approximately 3.19. So based on our previous 4 greenhouse gas emissions that we started back in 2020, we've gone from 3.67 kilograms of CO2 per tonne we produce down to 0.86 for last year. And we've been able to achieve that by making different adjustments to how we operate. Particularly, we've gone over from diesel mobile plants to HVO fuels. And we've changed our company car policy over to all plug-in electric vehicles. And general remote working just generally cuts down how we're moving around. And a lot of our plants are situated on the same site as an EFW, so they can harness their electricity. But for those that aren't, we've been able to secure green tariffs from different renewable fuels, or been able to harness power from solar arrays. So generally we've seen a marked improvement in our carbon footprint, but we're trying to move towards net zero, and we're slowly getting there, slowly but surely. So just to give an overview of where our plants are located, we've got plants in the northeast and northwest in Yorkshire. And we've got a plant covering the Midlands and East Anglia. Castle Bromwich, the Midlands, just not too far away from here. And we've got 2 plants in the southwest and southeast of the country. So in terms of our ESG, we have 3 pillars of sustainability strategy. So looking at circular economy, climate impacts, and health and well-being. And a lot of that strategy aligns with 13 of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. And this is certainly an area as a business we're looking to improve on. Recently taken on our group sustainability manager and our life cycle analyst. So we wanted to explore further how our business and activities impact on the environment, how we can improve going forward. So I'd just like to show you a quick video to give you a scale of how operations work.
But some people see the residue ash from energy from waste as only good for landfill, but they're wrong. In our hands, it becomes an asset. And for the local authorities we work with, it becomes something they can use to improve the built environment, advance the circular economy, and it fulfills their sustainability ambitions. For local authorities like Wakefield, it starts with curbside collection of what you might know as black bin waste. Residue waste that cannot be reduced from years to recycled can end up in an energy and waste plant like Ferrybridge. Once the bin waste has been delivered to Ferrybridge, it is used as a fuel. Energy is recovered from this process and fed back to the grid. Methanics take the residual IBA or incinerator bottom ash in main byproducts from the energy from waste process. In the past, this ash would have been destined for landfill, but now we have a better use for it. Non-ferrous and ferrous metals are recovered, organics and unburned plastics removed from the material. Final products are split into 2 different streams, which are blended together to meet highway specifications. Since 2019, we have processed 930,000 tonnes of IBA. 150,000 tonnes of the aggregates have been supplied into the Wakefield local authority area in use of estate roads, pavements, cycleways, and other projects.
We've worked with Point Phoenix now since 2019 to reduce our carbon footprints and household rubbish that we can't recycle in Wakefield. They're taking that from us, turning it into needed power and energy, and the product that's left from that, we'll turn that into aggregate that we're using on our district road, but also in a number of other schemes.
In many ways, with the final link in circularity, black bin waste turned into aggregates that can be used in Wakefield's local environment.
I think the way we recycle is come to the forefront of everybody's mind, every household now across the Wakefield district. So by doing what we're doing here, it makes a massive difference. I'm going to see it more with all local authorities up and down the country.
Local authorities will always have residual waste that cannot be reused, reduced or recycled. What we're doing here shows there is an alternative to landfill. With our help, it can become an asset, advancing circularity and sustainability.
Thank you. I hope you get that video sort of gave the size, the scale of both the energy from waste facilities and the processing of how much waste is generated or we produce. So thank you for listening. Thank you for organising. Welcome any questions you have. Okay.